This customer wants to install his Tesla wall connector in his commercial unit. I'm gonna be installing the wall connector right here after I remove this box. We're gonna run number 6 wire on the existing conduit all the way to its junction box. It's on top of this attic area. There's no flex going from the J-box down to this panel. So I'm gonna run a flex from the J-box to the panel. We're gonna install a new 60 amp breaker. So after removing the box, I'm gonna send my fish tape in the existing conduit, and then I'll go up to that J-box and we can tie the wire and pull it back. So I fed the snake up through the existing conduit and down to the J-box. So now I can tie the wire here. I got the wire tied to the fiberglass snake. So now I'm gonna feed it here while I pull it there. The wire pulled really smooth because my partner was feeding it while I pulled. So now I can mount the connector here. So I got the panel cover removed, and now I'm gonna take out a 3/4 knockout so I can run my flex from the attic down to the panel. So I have a conduit to run my wire. To take the KO out, I just hit it with my pliers and a flathead screwdriver. And then I'm just gonna take it out with my pliers like that. So I figured out where I'm gonna run my flex down, so I'm gonna drill a hole through the top plate for my flex. So after drilling the hole, I'm gonna send my snake down through the hole and I'll catch it at the panel, KO. And then I'm gonna tie the flex to the snake so I can pull it perfectly into the KO hole with the connector on the flex. So I got the snake out of the KO in the panel, and now I put the connector on the flex, and I'm gonna put this little hook on there, and I'm gonna feed the flex down while my partner pulls the snake, and we're gonna land it into the KO in the panel. So using the snake to guide the flex in the wall, I got the flex connector in the hole. Now I can pull my snake out, and then I can put my lock nut on so I don't lose it. Just like that. So I'm gonna land my flex to this J-box right here. So first I gotta cut it, and then after I cut it, I'm gonna put the connector on. And then I'll take the KO out and we'll land it in this 3/4 side. So I got the 3/4 taken out, and now I can land my flex with the lock nut. And then we'll pull this wire down to the panel, and my wire's ran. I gotta pull my wire through the flex, so I'm gonna send my snake up inside the flex I just ran. I'm not gonna cut the wire in this J-box, so I'm just taping it to the snake so I can pull it down to the panel, and we're just gonna leave a pass-through in this box. So now that I got the wire tied, I can pull it down to the panel. So while my partner feeds the wire, I can pull it here, and now I have my wire in the panel going all the way to the location of the Tesla wall connector. So I put the blank cover back on, and now I'm installing a strap on the flex. So I remove the bracket from the back of the connector, and then there's this KO that comes out of the top that's 3/4 for that pipe. Now I need to drill some holes in the bracket so I can mount it to the wall with anchors. So that's 1, and that's 2. And now I'm gonna install it to the conduit and mark my 2 holes on the wall. And then I'm gonna make sure that my 2 holes are level, and they look pretty good. So right there and right there. And now I can drill the holes with my hammer drill. So after getting the anchors installed, now I can mount the wall connector. There's gonna be a lock nut that goes on that conduit, but I wanna get my screws in first. After getting the screws in, now I can put the lock nut back on. That'll hold the conduit. So when I strip the wire, I always leave the insulation at the tip so that when you tighten the Allen on the wall connector, it doesn't spread the copper wire apart and give it a bad connection. It keeps it nice and solid. It's more important to do this to the number 6 wire because it's thicker and it has more of a chance to fray when you tighten it. Now I got the wall connector wired. Now that I got the bracket up, the Tesla just slams on like that, and there's 4 screws that go 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom with the same Allen. Just like that. After getting it installed, I want to have the handle plug into the side. So I'm gonna wrap the cord around just like this, nice and clean. And then after all the cord is around the unit, we'll be able to plug the handle right into the side like that. I installed the ground wire to the ground bus bar, and now I'm gonna install my 2 number 6 wires into the breaker first, and then I'm gonna install the breaker in the panel. Put my wires in and then tighten these lugs down. And then you always want to use an insulated screwdriver because this bus bar is live, and make sure the breaker's off. I'm gonna snap in the right side first, and then I'm gonna, with my insulated screwdriver, I'm gonna screw these screws into the live bus bar, and then I can turn the breaker on, and my Tesla wall connector now has power. I labeled the panel. Now, because this is a commercial building, you're only getting 207, so he's not gonna be able to charge as quick as residential, but he still will probably get 30 to 35 miles per hour, and that's your end result.